I know. Oh, I'm
Same.
pretty rough. All right, the live stream's going. We can get started.
Okay, we are coming to order at 1:02, and I can't see everybody, but I think everybody's here.
Yeah, looks like it.
Okay. First up is accepting the agenda. Does if anybody have any changes? I can't see. No?
Nope.
No.
Okay. And would anybody like to make a motion to approve the agenda as listed?
I move to approve the agenda as listed.
I'll second. All in favor, say aye.
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 But I mean,
Yeah. What happened?
Savannah hands over
Okay,
there.
there we go.
Oh, there she is. I kept scrolling through the people thinking
Like,
she's got to be here somewhere, but hello.
Hello.
Okay. Let's see. It looks like we just have the minutes of last meeting. Does somebody want to make a motion to approve the minutes from not last month's meeting, 2 months ago's meeting?
I'll move to approve the minutes from June 15th meeting.
Okay. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Rachel, do we have any public comment?
No.
Okay. Then we will move into our discussion. Looks like Adrian's up first.
Woo. Do you guys have any questions on the financials? I did switch them up a little bit.
Would you like to point out how you switched them up?
Sure. So on the documentation, so with consolidating and just having just the Lowell branch now, so there'll be, I think there were seven pages previously where it was broken down as combined, and then Lowell and Bend, and then I think it was expenses were very, very detailed, and so I consolidated into a very high level,
Okay.
just based on functions, and then a balance sheet and a check register.
Great.
So a lot of the same information, just more condensed.
I like it. Yeah, that looks good to me.
Agreed. I appreciate the consolidation for sure.
Yes. Does anybody else have any questions? Doesn't look like it. Okay. I guess we can move on to you, Ben.
All right, awesome. I wanted to just talk about something that John Vondolowski, the former executive director of BCA and Marine Weathers, who used to be on the board, have been, I don't know if passionate about is the right term, but they have definitely encouraged me to get my administrator's license, even though in Oregon, for the type of charter school that we have, it isn't required currently, but there has been times in the past where ODE has definitely made some changes, or at least they've hinted at changes. And one of them that John and Maureen were concerned about was maybe in the future there being a need for charters like ours to have a licensed administrator. So currently, if you are a virtual charter school, you need to have a licensed administrator, but not necessarily for our charter, even though we're kind of in that gray area between a traditional charter and a virtual charter school, brick and mortar and a virtual charter school. Anyway, all that to say is that I have been pursuing it slowly. But it's come to the point now where in order to get to the the step where I am going to be actually starting on my administrator's license. I have to finish up and get my teaching license. And the last part of that is doing my student teaching piece, which would take a significant time away from my current responsibilities. Right now with WGU, I finished a program and I had pretty much decided not to go forward with it because I was at the end of the program and the student teaching piece. I was just starting this job as the administrator. And so I opted to just take the degree without doing that last student teaching piece. And so just got like a early elementary degree or whatever, and not the part that would get me the teaching license. All that to say is that WGU said, well, if you're going to go forward with it this year, you could, we've restructured the way that we do our program. You could just do what they call, which is I don't know what they call it. It's the equivalent of student teaching, and then we would issue the full degree, but you would have to do it sooner than later. Otherwise, you'd have to go back and redo the whole program in the future. All right, so there's a time element there for getting my teaching degree sooner than later. But this year is not an optimal year to do that here at Bridge. With K-8, I would need a mentor teacher, and the person that would be the candidate to be the mentor teacher is got a pretty full year with some other things that have come up within the K-8 program this year. So they could make it work, but it would put a significant burden on them. So to lay it out, there is a lot of different things that I'm considering. There's the need to do this for Bridge Charter Academy. And is that need actually something today that the school needs? And the answer is no. You do not need a licensed administrator to run your charter school. In the future, will that be a need? Maybe, and maybe not. We don't know. So when you think of it from the school's perspective, I don't know that pursuing this right now is something that we really need to do. For me personally, is it something that I absolutely need and want? Well, not necessarily. I mean, it does open up more possibilities for me in the future if I ever left Bridge, which I'm not planning on doing anytime soon. There is, again, the possibility that Bridge would need it in some capacity. But I do know that before Maureen left, I think she might have even talked to somebody, I don't know, about me pursuing this thing. So I know she was passionate about it. I guess before going forward with anything, I want to hear from the board here and what you guys actually want me to do, because if it's something that I am passionate about, I can certainly pursue on my own time. But because pursuing it through WGU this year will take a significant portion away from my current job responsibilities, it really needs to be something that you are also passionate about. So anyway, I'll open it up if you guys have any questions or anything, but that's sort of the landscape right now with where I currently am at.
So question
Yeah.
is the student teaching would need to happen this year. I mean, that's what WGU is saying. Like, it has to happen this year. You couldn't push it like another year.
I don't think I can with this, with the work that I've already done. I'd still get that degree that I had. I can
Sure.
start again. So that was for a bachelor's degree. I can start again for a master's degree in the future if that's something that I wanted to pursue. And I would be doing the schoolwork, and I could even start this year, doing the schoolwork piece, and then the student teaching part would come up again. But eventually I would be in the same situation that I'm at now, that I would need to decide
Right.
to go forward or
That's
not.
my second question.
Uh-huh.
Is there ever going to be a good time to do this? I mean, it's kind of like, like the decision of having a
Yeah.
baby or starting a family or
Yeah.
whatever. Like, there's never a good time, right?
Right. I
It's
agree
gonna be
with
disruptive.
your idea that celibacy is the way to go. It's just-
Not what I was saying.
No, I agree with you. It is always going to be an inconvenience. And I was planning on it being an inconvenience this year. I think this year it's going to be even more of an inconvenience than it even normally would be because of some other factors that have arisen. So, yeah. But yes, no matter what, it's going to be a pain to try to juggle both. And you're absolutely right. You got to just commit if that's what you're wanting to do or not.
I guess my opinion is that, like, I feel like that you've already done the work,
Mhm.
and that, following through and finishing it is not a bad idea, especially given that it is a requirement for virtual charter schools. That does give me a little anxiety, because when does
Yeah.
it pop up and become a problem for us? And I would hate for that to be sprung on us and then to be in a position where we're having to make really tough decisions. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I think being proactive makes most sense, and going through with it. And I know that pinches things,
Yeah, sure.
but that's where I sit, I guess.
Yeah. My only other thought is, like, if you were to go through and pursue the master's degree, is it a 2-year master degree?
Yeah.
So in the long run, that would take you a significant amount of time on top of what you've already invested. And then you still have to do the student teaching at the end of that.
Right, but it does push it back a little bit, at least the pressure point,
Yeah.
Sure.
Oh, yeah, that's another option too. And so sooner the better, or play the long game and hope that the the landscape's a little bit better in the future. What do you think?
I agree with Tisha that
Mhm.
I think it's better to be proactive, and you've already done this work. And
Mhm.
so I think I know what you're saying, that it's going to definitely make things more difficult, but I think having that security that you're going to get it just in case, I don't know. I think that's really valuable.
Yeah.
All right. So is that pursue this year, or pursue the 2-year, push it back one more year?
I think, unfortunately, we're all agreeing that pursue this year is our best bet, unfortunately.
Checking it off the list. And then with that, in that vein, is there anything else, just for me as the administrator of the school here, that you are hoping that I focus in on? Obviously, in light of the last decision, makes it a little more difficult, but I'm
This
willing.
is your
Probably
job,
be
then,
focusing on
for the
that.
next year.
Mhm.
I mean, I don't have anything significant to bring forth that I can think of. I mean, I think you've been doing a great job in, kind of funneling, and there's been a lot of change and a lot of upheaval in how things are done in the last year. So I think building on what you guys started with all the different changes last year, continue on that direction and course. For me, that's my perspective.
Yeah, I agree. I think that completing the student teaching will be enough of a goal for you. It would be hard to add anything onto that.
All right, wonderful. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you guys' perspective there. So, not going to listen to any of it, but I appreciate it. No, just kidding. All right.
Like a couple of my children.
Yeah, that sounds familiar, right?
All right, switching gears then to 4.4, we went to the new OSBA summer session, summer school session. I don't know what they called it, but they replaced the OSBA conference with this 1-day summer session. And, at first hearing about it, I wasn't too excited. It just seemed like it was packing everything into one day. When I got there, it was interesting because there was a lot of schools that ended up coming to the 1-day, or at least a few that I had talked to, that came to the 1-day session that wouldn't have come to the conference because it would have taken up too much time and resources. So, I guess it works for everybody. For me, there was some information that was shared. We didn't have a lot of choice. I think it was you either were in the general session or you went off with like an administrative assistant
Right.
type track. So there wasn't really anything to think about, just sit and get the information that they gave. There were certainly some things that were brought up there that I didn't have on my radar that I needed to know. So that was helpful to me, but I wanted to open it up for you guys that attended. What'd you think about it? And did you pick up anything of value from the 1-day summer session?
I was muted, sorry. I thought it was good. It was short and sweet, which was, kind of nice. And I think they got, most of the information across in an abridged version. It was a little, I think last year it was like the cell phone policy was like the big thing. And then this year it was like, what do we do if immigration and shows up on your campus or whatever? It was a little heavier, a little more intense as far as that goes. But yeah, it was good information and stuff that we all need to think about. So, it wasn't anything that I had ever considered before until we were sitting there. So,
yeah.
And then just a lot of the legalese stuff. Was a lot of it. So.
Yeah, that's the first time I've ever attended, so I don't really have anything else to compare it to. But I did appreciate the real, like, the skits that they did. I think putting that, some of the legal stuff and situations that you might be put in as a board and things like that were really helpful.
Agreed.
Yeah. Awesome.
Are there any specific laws that are coming for charter schools that I should be aware of?
Well, we do need to have a policy for what we will do if ICE ends up coming onto campus. So that is something that we're going to have to, I will have for you, and we can vote in as far as a policy for next month. But that was the big one that they spent a lot of time talking about. And then they did a lot of refreshing on just different gifts and things that you can receive or cannot receive as a board member, which didn't directly apply to me unless I'm trying to coerce somebody, to vote a certain way. But that was helpful as a board member to get that information? Yeah.
Yeah, I thought so.
And then I think they did send off all of the slides, so I can send those to you, Annie. So if
that'd be great
to look them over. Cool.
Sounds good.
So next year we'll do it again, I guess.
I keep hoping they're going to go back to Salem, but I don't know if that'll...
Yeah, I don't know if that's good.
Was I missing anything? I noticed that it went from 4.1 to 4.3.
No.
Is that just a typo?
Right, I can't count.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure. Okay. Then I guess we can move on to the administrator report.
All right. Well, to start off with, I invited Maya to come here and to talk a little bit about something that we are required to give to ODE. They have new metrics for assessing school efficacy. And one of the things that they're doing is having schools not only go and all be part of these different assessments that they have, like choose from the 4 assessments, and then 3 times a year bring the data to the school board, but they are also having schools set certain growth targets. And so Maya's going to talk about what we are going to be turning in at the end of the month as far as those growth targets, and just kind of go over that a little bit. So just really informal. I asked her to come and share. So thank you, Maya.
Hello. I was going to say, speaking of things that ODE can bestow upon us, here's one of them. So as Ben said, this is all part of the SB 141. What is it? The Education Accountability Act. So yeah, it's tied in with the assessment tool stuff that we researched last year, and now they have these things called performance growth targets, PGTs. So we have this spreadsheet that helps us track things. I'll share my screen and I'll very briefly go through them because there's a lot of numbers and everything. And at the end of the day, there's not a ton of it that we need to focus on. Like we've already figured out a lot of it, and we just want to keep you in the loop. So let me share my screen here. Okay, so just to briefly explain, we have all these tabs at the bottom here, and some of these are metrics that all schools are required to track and report growth targets for every year. And then when I flip over to the next bit of tabs, there's going to be a series of different ones that we were asked to pick one metric for our specific school to track and grow. So the ones that everyone is expected to track and report on are K2 regular attendance. So we have a table here of our K2 attendance from 2021 to 2025. And then these are our projected, these are our targets for growth. All of the target numbers are based on our 2024-2025 school year information. For whatever reason, that's the direction that they went. They just said, like, start from that school year and then make your targets from there. So these are the targets we've chosen. Just to quickly explain the difference between the baseline target and the gap closing target. The gap closing target, which would be this orangey red line here, those are for our students that are part of the they're called the combined focal students for ODE. So those would be students who would qualify for free and reduced lunch, English language learners, students like that ODE is keeping a particular eye on. So that's why there's 2 different targets. And for the focal students, the idea is that we're like closing the gap between the focal students and our general population. So we have K2 regular attendance. K-12 regular attendance is another metric here. So you can see our targets all the way through 2030. 3rd grade ELA. So these are based on OSAS scores here. You'll see that for this one, we did go and input, when Ben and I were talking about this and meeting with our representative, we were curious what our scores would look like for this year. Because of the closure of the Bend campus, we didn't know how it would affect our OSAS scores. So we did go in and check, and our 3rd grade ELA OSAS scores are a bit lower than what they have been in previous years. So I actually have a meeting with our representative on Friday to see if we can adjust our goals based on the updated information that we have here from the past year. But for now, these are the goals based on our 2024-2025 data for 3rd grade ELA. I went and looked up our OSAS scores for all of these ones that were required just to double check on them. 8th grade math, we actually did a lot better than we've been doing, so we're keeping those goals. We've already hit them actually, but we're going to keep them as they are. So then we have the 9th grade on track. This is another metric for all schools have to report. 4-year graduation is another one here, and I mean we're already doing very well on that. 5-year completion as well. And then I think, yeah, so here's where we get into the optional ones. We had to choose one metric for our own personal school goal from 5th grade science, career and workforce readiness, multilingual proficiency, and post-secondary readiness. We chose 5th grade achievement. It's the easiest one to report on because it's an OSAS score again. So this will be our focal goal. And then here's the goals that we have. You'll see the graph down here. And then again, I went and looked up our OSAS scores from this past year and we're right on track. So that should be all good. Like Ben said, we're supposed to submit these like target goals by the end of the month to ODE. Before we do that, I am going to meet with our rep on Friday just to chat about the 3rd grade ELA goals to see if we can match those a bit more closely to how we scored this year. But otherwise, that's what's going on. Any questions about these? Okay, thank you so much.
Awesome.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Maya. All right, well, the school year is right around the corner here. We have staff showing up Monday, and we're going to be doing our all-staff training next week, and then it's off to the races. Lowell School District is going to a 4-day school week, so it'll be interesting to see how that goes, and I still think sticking with the inverse here of coming to school 1 day a week and staying home 4 days is still working for us. So
Agreed.
you also have the director's reports that were sent in. Any questions or comments about anything there, or anything you would like to talk about that I didn't bring up? All right.
Nope.
Sounds good. So for next month, we will be talking about ICE policy within the school, and that's what I got.
Cool. Well, thank you. Our next meeting is, I didn't print it out today, September 21st on a Monday. I will see you all then, and we're adjourning at 1:30.
Awesome. Woo.